Joy, the not so happy emotion. Who is Joy? Joy is considered the main protagonist of the movie Inside Out. Inside Out was an animated movie that focused on showcasing how emotions are essential to living a good life. Joy is shown to be the first emotion to be created inside a baby as soon as it is born. Joy is in charge of Riley, the girl whose emotions we see during the entire movie, and does her best to keep Riley happy at all times. During the mishap with Sadness, another emotion, Joy and Sadness are sent away from the main control room, where the emotions control Riley. This means bad news for Joy, as she cannot control and watch over Riley to keep her happy for most of the movie. Joy and her narcissistic personality disorder. Narcissistic personality disorder falls under cluster B of personality disorder. So when someone with NPD shows patterns of grandiosity, need for attention, and lacks empathy, normally begins in young adulthood. To be considered to have narcissistic personality disorder, you must show 5 or more of the following symptoms, which includes having a grandiosity sense of self-importance, requiring excessive admiration, and lack of empathy. The evidence to show Joy as having narcissistic personality disorder is that she shows grandiosity sense of self-importance. Since the start of the movie, Joy makes herself to be the most important emotion out of the 5, when she is thrown out of control, she continuously establishes that everyone she meets that Riley needs her. She also shows sense of entitlement, as she is the first emotion to be created, and she spends most of the time dealing with Riley's childhood and is responsible for her accomplishments and best memories of her life. One of the symptoms she's missing is symptom 3, and that is that believes he or she is special and can only be understood by others of the same status. Joy is missing this symptom, as she is seen to like and hang around the other emotions. And if she believed she was special enough to not hang out with them, she would isolate herself. Possible treatments I came up with is to bring the problem to the subject. It is always good to talk about the issues first and then explaining to the person that it is not healthy what they are doing. And it could also help build a connection with the subject that they could possibly be needing. Another treatment is to tolerate and ignore the subject's symptoms, as if they are ignored, they would realize that their attention isn't really affecting people and it is not needed for them to be happy. Problems that could happen is the subject may seek attention from dangerous people. Since the people close to them will not be satisfying their needs, they would go looking for attention elsewhere, and it could lead to serious problems, which is why the backup is to keep an eye on them, secretly of course. That will help keep track of what they are doing without having them notice you and probably act differently. The portrayal of psychological disorders in this movie, I believe that Joy is a good representation of someone with narcissistic personality disorder, but the movie does not portray it as a bad thing. It doesn't bring up it brings awareness to that Joy has potential disorders, but it is not established in the movie. Some of the disorders in other movies, including this one, are used to add comedic effect to the movies, and disorders are no laughing matter. Majority of the film does not establish that the characters even have disorders to begin with, which makes it harder for people to notice when people have them and that they should be treated.